Oh no, tu non hai la febbre.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we revisit a rare and somewhat controversial film from the 1970s, Chaleurs, 1971, directed by Daniel Daërt. In an age where every movie can be found with a simple search, there are still hidden gems buried deep within the archives of French cinema history. This is not just a film. It is a cultural snapshot, a bold reflection on issues we still debate today. What makes a film made more than 50 years ago still feel relevant now? Let's find out. To understand Chaleurs, we must go back to 1971, a time when the sexual revolution was reshaping Western Europe. Daniel Daërt was known for his unflinching approach to themes of desire and moral boundaries. His films explored not just physical passion, but the psychology behind it, the tension between curiosity and guilt. The story takes place in a quiet countryside villa during a hot French summer. Philippe, a young man, comes to stay with his uncle André and aunt Nadia. One day Nadia gives him a camera, a small, seemingly innocent gift. But that camera opens the door to another world. Through its lens, Philippe begins to observe, even spy, on his aunt's private life. Curiosity soon turns into an irresistible force, a mix of admiration, desire, and shame. As its title suggests, Chaleurs, meaning heat or desire. The film dives deep into instinct, liberation, and the moral ambiguity of human relationships. It was a film that challenged the conventions of its time, and perhaps that's why it never received wide recognition. At its core, Chaleurs questions loneliness and the human need for connection in a society that was rapidly changing. Its characters search for satisfaction but find only emptiness, the kind of existential void so often described in post-war European thought. In truth, Chaleurs is not an erotic film. It is a subtle psychological study. It asks how imagination can distort affection, how innocent admiration can evolve into dangerous obsession. The camera becomes a symbol of the gaze, seeing without being seen, controlling yet isolated. It mirrors the loneliness of those who prefer to observe rather than live authentically. Daniel Daërt builds tension not through action, but through silence and atmosphere. Every frame feels heavy, almost suffocating, not only from the heat of summer, but from the weight of repressed emotion. He uses close-ups and strong contrasts of light to create a sense of confinement. The soundtrack replaces dialogue as the main carrier of feeling, allowing emotion to flow through rhythm and sound rather than words. Of course, the film isn't perfect. The script feels uneven in parts, and a few sensual scenes might appear dated or overly direct by modern standards. My personal rating, 7 out of 10. A point for its courage to explore taboo, but minus for its slow pacing, which may test the patience of contemporary audiences. Still, it feels like a dream, one that slowly becomes unsettling. Chaleurs remains a little-known film, but it captures with precision the complex emotions that exist between affection, temptation, and moral constraint. It's bold, yes, but not in a gratuitous way. Its provocative moments act as metaphors for intellectual and emotional liberation. We should view it as a document of artistic rebellion in the 1970s, not as simple entertainment. In the end, Chaleurs, 1971, demands patience and openness. It's not a perfect masterpiece, but it's a fascinating artifact of cinematic and cultural history. The film's rarity has turned it into something of a cult piece, a mysterious fragment of a freer, more daring era of art. If you love European psychological cinema from the 1970s, this one is worth rediscovering. Not for its boldness, but for how it makes us reflect on the gaze, on desire, and on the fragile nature of being human. So what do you think about this film? Was the 1970s simply too hot compared to modern cinema? Leave your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more deep dives into forgotten classics. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.